chocolate is the cure to everything. Depression, PMS, PMDD, hunger, cravings. I don't want people to be like, oh my god, Dawn is a doctor and she said go and eat chocolate all the time. But a little bit of chocolate didn't do nobody no harm. I go up to him when I'm crying and I'm like, I need a hug. Sometimes not crying for any reason, and he just knows, okay, it's Dawn's period, it's time. The monthly boyfriend duties. And also it's just like one big blob. And I'm like, how do you do so much, sir? How do you do so much, Mr. Brain? I don't understand it. Fun fact, I have poked a human brain. Hello, we're back. That's so weird because that was literally 2 seconds later for me, but it's going to be a few days for you. Because I'm thinking that's like half an hour. And okay, context. What happened was basically I've recorded 2 episodes in one. What? And I had about 2 seconds when I like finished the last one and started the new one. Anyway, if you're just joining, hi. We're just talking about premenstrual syndrome or premenstrual dysphoric disorder. Yeah. Oh, I can't remember now. Dysphoric disorder. So I'm Dawn, I am a doctor, and I talk about mental health stuff on my positivity podcast and also fun stories because I think they're funny. Today we're talking about, and if you haven't listened to the first part, it might be worth listening to the first part because I talk about my periods and I talk about crying and I talk about period depression, and basically it's like the preface to this episode. So you kind of need it to make sense. You don't. If you've had a period before or ever experienced the aftermath or in math of a period or before math, then I think you'll probably get the gist. Anyway, we're talking about how to help your PMS or PMDD because it's important. If you don't think it's important, go and watch. You need to go and listen to that previous episode because you need to like understand that it fucking is important because it ruins lives. And I spent a lot of time in bed and quite sad. So go get some context, bitch. Okay. One thing that helped me, number one, I did just say this. Chocolate, sweet like chocolate. Hope that doesn't get copyrighted. I don't think my channel is big enough. Because you can literally copyright words. Like I can sing a tune and a melody and words, and it doesn't matter if I've sung it. It's my voice, but apparently because it's somebody else's song, that's a problem. Okay, chocolate is the fucking cure to everything. Depression, PMS, PMDD, what else? Hunger, cravings. No, I don't want people to be like, oh my god, Dawn is a doctor and she said go and eat chocolate all the time. But it does, a little bit of chocolate didn't do nobody no harm. And actually, it's got shit in it that's quite good for you. I have dark chocolate, 70%, and I do sometimes have nuts in it. I've at the moment I've got a dark one with hazelnuts in. It's pretty good. I have like 1 square, maybe 2, once every day or 2. I don't go too crazy. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to be a bit, trying to cut down my chocolate intake. I know that it's my fucking Achilles heel, right? I get it. I'm omitting it, so no one can call me out on that one. But as well as chocolate, now it literally does release endorphins, like it's fucking proven. So there we go. And like I said earlier, as J.K. Rowling would say, well, she didn't say it, she wrote it, but chocolate helps cure the depressed, despair feeling that the Dementors brings. So it basically cures depression. So my next thing is, I don't think we realise how important physical contact is for a human. Sometimes you might not want to talk to people when you're like sad and shit, but I found that I hugged my dog, and I know she's not human, but I don't care. She basically is to me. She's got a little personality, and I know her like my child. So I picked her up. I was feeling a bit cold, and she was a toasty little cinnamon bun. Like, she was so warm, and I was like, oh my god, I love you. She was so toasty, and I was loving it. So we had a little hug, that made me feel a lot better. Also, I'm fortunate enough to have a boyfriend and someone who puts up with my PMDD, PMS vibes. So that helps. And he looks after me when I'm crying. Like, I go up to him when I'm crying and I'm like, I need a hug. Sometimes not crying for any reason. And he just knows, okay, it's Dawn's period. It's time. It's time to bring out the monthly boyfriend duties, basically. We have a joke that it's like his monthly boyfriend duties because, periods every month. But as discussed in the last episode, my period is not every month, but you'll have to go listen to that one to find out why. So hug something. It fucking releases happy brain chemicals. Like, it literally does. Oxytocin mainly, but nonetheless makes you happy. Now, you could try and hold in those tears, but that ain't gonna help. I like just letting it all out. Watch a fucking sad film and cry. YOLO. Just do it. And it's not like the sadness when you've actually got something to be sad about. And you're like, if this sad thing doesn't go away, then I'm going to be sad forever. Like if your boyfriend breaks up with you or something. Then, that if you just cry when you're on your period or before your period or whatever, you're just like, well, I'll be fine in a bit. Because I'm just crying because I'm on my period, like nothing else. Next, I do find talking, I know this is really fucking sappy, but obviously it's really helpful when your boyfriend or whoever knows you're on your period, right? Just be like, look, it's understandable, People are like, okay, fair enough. That's why she's crying. I'll put up with it. But talking about it does help. Sometimes even just saying, I don't know why I'm crying, but I just am. I don't want to talk to you, but I want you to be there physically. So these next ones are mainly, in fact, no, I'll skip them because those are for PMDD, but we'll get to them in a minute. The next one is, so those ones are like if you have severe PMDD, you go into fucking depression mode. I did have it this time, but I don't have, like I said, periods all the time, so it doesn't affect me every month. So I wouldn't necessarily be like, oh my God, I need to go out and get significant treatment for this syndrome because it doesn't affect me as much as it could some other people. But I do find that exercise helps. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but like I went for a walk. That was really nice. I fucking loved it. I went swimming with a tampon in, obviously, and loved it. I just love, I'm really loving swimming at the moment, but just being active and just gently active, not jumping around because, cramps. And, you don't have loads of energy. Just doing something sedate, something nice and relaxing. Maybe some yoga or just some stretches or just some walking. Just fucking walking. I walked in the rain. Oh, I'm sorry, I just yawned there, but it is nearly 2 a.m. There we go. As I said, I've been sleeping a lot, and I did sleep quite late today. So apparently, PMS, I don't smoke or vape, but because I don't really get why you would actively cause trauma and damage and cancer to yourself. I don't really get it, but I get it if you want to be cool or whatever, but I just don't understand it, right? So I personally don't smoke or vape, but for people that do, did you know you're probably not going to stop smoking because of this, but maybe you will. Maybe you'll reduce it. It actually increases symptoms of PMS or PMDD. So if you can try and cut down around that time, then maybe you'll feel a bit better. I don't know why, but that's what I found out. Sleeping more, I think if your body needs to rest, just fucking let it rest. Just let it do its thing. Because I just can't function when I'm fucking tired. Honestly, it's like torture. I have likened it to torture, because I'm like, I mean, it literally is a type of torture, sleep deprivation. I can't handle it. I'm like, oh God, it makes me really anxious. I get really fucking grumpy. I get like, it's mainly the anxiety, to be honest. I'm like, oh, I don't feel right. And yeah, I really don't like being sleepy or being sleep deprived. So it is hard. I was like, fuck, I'm sleeping so much. But I was like, I feel like I need to. Like, if I need to, I need to. So I just do it. Next one is specifically eat more carbs and protein. Now, I just sort of eat more of what I want. And because I'm like, okay, that's probably what my body wants, right? So, but I definitely did eat more. Given that I'm on Ozempic, which reduces your appetite, I was like, wow, I'm eating so much. I ate more, and I think your body just needs it. I mean, obviously you don't eat to like excess, as in like, oh my God, I'm so full. But if you need more food, then you need more food. The other thing was like, stop caffeine, salt, sugar. And I was like, who the fuck's going to stop caffeine for like 1 to 2 weeks every month? Like, I don't know that I've skipped caffeine for that long, for a long time. Other things that have been shown to help are, and these are more for PMDD, is now contraception. I'm on contraceptive pill, the progesterone only pill, and it basically stops you from ovulating, which is why I don't really get PMDD symptoms usually. Now, for some reason I came on my period. I don't know why, I didn't miss it, whatever, but something happened. The stars aligned, the blood wanted to exit or something, who knows. Basically, I find that, and obviously contraception doesn't work for everybody, and if you're trying to get pregnant, obviously it doesn't work. Well, it does work, but you don't want to be on it. But the thing is, if you stop, it can regulate some of your hormones and like stabilize them, but it can also, preventing ovulation does just generally help with PMS symptoms, because it's the ovulation period, literally, that stimulates all of these symptoms apparently. So that can help. Another thing that I found interesting, now I'm already on an antidepressant, an SSRI, I'm on sertraline, but there's some evidence that it does help in PMDD, not for PMS, like when you get the actual depressive symptoms, that's when it helps. But you can take it for like 1 to 2 weeks per month. But personally, I would just stay on it. Like, I don't see the point in coming off and going on. That's if it's like really problematic for you. For me, like I said, it's not so bad, but like that is a treatment option. It's just like a low dose antidepressant to help take the edge off those symptoms every month. And if it's like really impacting your work or your life and you can't go out and do stuff, then it kind of makes sense to get on top of that, I would say. The other thing is like ibuprofen, naproxen, stuff like that. Oh my God, I can't say the fucking word. Mefenamic acid. They're all like non-steroidal anti-inflammatory medications, and they obviously help with like the pain, the cramping, the headaches, and just reducing some of the like tummy pain that you can get. So I did take some of those because I did have some of the pain, and that obviously being in pain can just contribute to your, like, can make you sad and like a bit moody. So getting on top of pain is also super useful. There are other supplements, you could call them. I can't particularly remember why they work, but calcium carbonate, I think you can probably get that just from any like pharmacy or health food store. Vitamin B6 in normal quantities, obviously don't overdose it, has been shown to help. And something called Agnus castus. Go check that out if that works for you. Obviously, do I need to put the fucking like go check with your doctor. I mean, obviously, if you've got like a complicated medical history, don't just listen to me willy-nilly. I am a doctor, but I don't know you, right? But if you're like generally fit and well and things, and this is like okay for you, then you might not need to go and speak to a doctor. But obviously, just like take some general common sense. Don't just listen to a podcast, even if it is a doctor, and then think that applies to you. The other things were things like CBT to help with the kind of depressive symptoms and like thoughts around that time. Because I mean, it is literally like depression. Oh, we didn't say why it causes depression. So basically, estrogen has so many effects on serotonin in our brain, like serotonin reuptake, serotonin production, serotonin receptors, like loads of shit basically. I can't remember all of it. But basically, if your estrogen and things like that are changing or dipping, then your serotonin, the happy chemical in your brain, the neurotransmitter, is also going to be altered or decreased. So it kind of made sense when I looked at it like that. They haven't specifically shown that is the reason, but I it just kind of makes sense, right? But maybe we'll find out fully one day. I mean, the body is such a complicated thing. Like, honestly, I can't fucking believe that I have a degree in this machine, because it's something that we still don't fully understand, but I think it's pretty amazing. And that is honestly why I got into medicine, because I thought, wow, that's pretty cool. This body is literally, I'm just thinking of words, they're coming out of my mouth, and, you understand what I'm saying. And I want to move my hand, I move my hand. I want to get up, I get up. My bowel's just doing its thing. My bladder, it's holding my wee in. My brain, the fucking most amazing organ out there, I think, as well as, I mean, there are other really cool organs, but the human brain is something else, I'm telling you. And also, it's just like one big blob. And I'm like, how do you do so much, sir? How do you do so much, Mr. Brain? I don't understand it. Fun fact, I have poked a human brain. It doesn't make that noise. But fun fact, that's a pretty cool fact. It was like fairly fresh at an autopsy. So there we go. Yeah, it was kind of weird, but I was like, I really want to feel it. Like, how often do you get to feel a human brain? Like, not that often. You kind of feel like it's going to be like jelly, and then obviously it's not, and you're like, oh, this is weird. It's kind of like really, no, it's more solid than that. It's kind of like a jelly kind of sweet. It's like gelatin, but like a, I don't know, like a fruit pastel. No, not fruit pastel. Like a kind of, I don't know, like a Haribo or something. Like, it's pretty firm. I mean, it kind of makes sense. Otherwise, every time you shook your head, it would just congeal. Nice. Anyway, moving on from the brain talk. I think these ones are really important. These ones are really cool, actually. Number one, I've only got 5 minutes left before the camera resets, so I kind of want to get it done in that time. Number one, peer support. Talk to people who have the same issue. Just look online or just speak to people that you know. But there are actual peer support groups for PMDD. Number two, plan your life around it. So if you know when your period is going to be, and you can get those apps, or you can just put it on your phone or whatever. Oh, sorry. You can be like, right, I'm not going to plan my wedding, or for instance, during my period or during the times where I get these symptoms. I am going to do stuff that makes me happy. Let's plan a picnic. Let's go for a nature walk. Let's go and pet some donkeys. Like, do things that you want to do and avoid stuff that is going to make you feel like shit. You might not want to go like bungee jumping or something. Or maybe that's your vibe. Next, I've already talked about this one, nature. Nature just heals all. Just like leaving the house, going and walking in nature. Silence, mindfulness. If there's a dog there, even better. And just like the other day, I went out with my umbrella and there was no fucker there. It was great. And the rain patter on my umbrella. It was so good. And it was like raining just enough that it was like nice, but not so much that I was like, oh, why did I come out? And then you have to like clean the dogs when you get home. So it was pretty good. Literally last, self-care box. Why did I never think of this before? I think I might make one, like a depression box. When Dawn's depressed, what does she want? She wants chocolate. She wants a crossword. She wants maybe like a nice fucking book or something. She wants, put some painkillers in there. Some ibuprofen, some paracetamol, some Gaviscon. You know, the fucking necessities. What else? A cute picture of something, like a little, I don't know, a donkey. I don't know, just like stuff that you love in a box, and you just get it out in times of need. Like your favourite book or your favourite film, if you still have a DVD player or whatever. I don't. Anyway, wow, what a two-parter. At least that means that I don't have to podcast again for a little bit, and I can get my life together after my fucking eternal sleep. I honestly was like, am I Sleeping Beauty? Someone has pricked me with a needle with magic on it, and I'm sleeping forever. Help. I need true love's kiss to wake me up. And it didn't happen. No, Tom just didn't kiss me whilst I was asleep. So there we go. I hope that's helped, guys. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them. I'd fucking love it. If you stay to the end, wow, thanks so much. Give it a like if you liked it. Share it with some peeps. And like I said, if you're listening on the podcast, there is a video on my YouTube channel at Dawn Barlow. Go follow me on Instagram if you want, at DawnBarlow30. I just post pictures of like stuff myself usually. And sometimes stuff I'm doing. And then I upload every Mondays and Thursdays. So, although it's technically 2 a.m. on a Tuesday now, but we're still, to me, it's still Monday. So I upload twice a week, and we do like mental health, self-improvement, like, but fucking having a good time. All right. Thanks so much. I love ya. That's a kiss. That's me blowing it. Bye.